What's up, brownies? Welcome to the Pretty Brown Rise channel. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because that is a great free way to support this black woman. Now, what I want you to do is, if you have not yet seen my previous video where I debunk the myth that Quiet being kicked off the show was just her karma for what she did to Mariah, you'll want to pause here, go watch that, and then come back to this video. What we as the fans have allowed these women to do is get away with really BS excuses for why they want Quad off the show instead of just simply saying, we don't like her. So there's this smoke screen of two things. The first one is that Quad has said such horrible and nasty things to Toya that she just can't simply forgive it. What I'm going to pause right here to show you is the fact that the doctors have actually said much worse to her or just as nasty, and she's forgiven them.
Quad has done some things that it's hard to forget.
Are you being a good example with your raggedy, broke ass? Are you leasing houses and leasing cars?
Your husband is literally the definition of a big ass bitch.
So because I'll be focusing on the rest of that in a different part, if anybody has that clip of Contessa telling Toya that her family lives like refugees, please drop a link in the comments. But what I really want to focus on is the whole notion of accountability and how they're trying to say that's the problem with Quad when the doctors themselves never take accountability. So whereas I'll also be breaking down the aforementioned hierarchy that they want to keep in place being the root cause of a lot of this in a separate video, what I want to focus on here is the doctors, some of the things that they have done and said, their missteps, how they never hold each other accountable, but they will help each other double down and back each other up no matter how wrong they are. Particularly, what I'm going to show is how dirty Buffy Purcell was done on this show and how she had to be removed for the same reason as Quad and Mariah. She will not bow down and be beneath them in their hierarchy. And lastly, what I want to make 100% clear is, as this is a channel that really appreciates the educated and entrepreneurial black people of our community, this will not be an attempt to completely tear them down or try to question or strip them of their credentials. It's simply just showing that the accountability narrative that they are spinning this season is complete malarkey. Let's start with an excerpt from an interview that Simone did after the situation where Jackie basically fat shamed a woman for no reason.
That is Dr. Heavenly's opinion that you can be healthy with a big butt. And of course we support her because she is one of our castmates. But the bottom line is we all need to focus on being healthy and being at the best body mass index.
So it's a lot easier for doctors with a pancake bottom, since they're so superior to everybody, to just take up for Jackie with these types of statements rather than hold her accountable because she was wrong and it was completely unnecessary to try to hide behind science and medicine to give unsolicited advice to a woman that's being celebrated in that moment. If she wanted to be one of your patients, then she would have booked an appointment. This was bashing, but y'all don't hold Dr. Jackie or Dr. Simone accountable. But remember, the problem with Quad is she doesn't take accountability for anything.
Sometimes as African-American women, we're a bit more dramatic in that you go to the doctor and you complain and you complain and you complain and you're not taken serious because you cried wolf the entire pregnancy.
Statements like that are exactly why in the future on this channel, you'll be able to find videos on how the strong black woman trope is actually a trap that leaves us broke and broken. You see, this myth that goes on in medicine that black people have a higher threshold for pain, and just simply the fact that we are disrespected and unprotected and discounted in every way is exactly why it's so dangerous for a black physician with black patients to make a statement like this, knowing very well that this is a real problem in the medical field and the reason why black women die in childbirth at a higher rate than anyone else. It's also why we die from things that should be easily prevented. Now, whereas it is important for me to address that in this video in order to be fair, I will not unnecessarily be adding on to the dog pile that's happening to Dr. Jackie right now. But let's move on and we'll see how some shade that was thrown at Jackie actually should have hit a different doctor.
But I'm not surprised with any of the things that's going on with the controversy with Jackie, because she's shown that since season 1. We've seen how she treated obese ladies, and we've seen how she's judged a lot of women. You give her grace because she's Dr. Jackie, but she ain't Jesus. And she makes mistakes like the rest of us. I think that it's horrid for her to plant that kind of seed about Black women when we are already fighting so many stereotypes and preconceived notions. But I think it's great that she's telling you what she really thinks. And my sister almost died in childbirth. You know, she dealt with the exact same thing. She said to her doctor, you know, I feel a certain kind of way. I think she may have had toxemia, or, you know, and it just, her doctor didn't listen, and she almost died.
See, I told y'all that the real problem with Married to Medicine was the medicine, the MDs, right? So let's continue. Let's fact check stuff. See, that's the difference between me and a lot of content creators. I'm going to fact check, do a little research, and then I'm also going to call it fair, even if it's somebody like Mariah that I think is good TV and she's a sharp woman and I appreciate what she created here. But let's call a thing a thing. You were so eager to jump in the fray and gloat because Quad had been voted off, and then also jump in the dog pile to tear Dr. Jackie down, that what you failed to mention in this little sassy interview is that the doctor that almost killed your sister in childbirth was Dr. Simone. How did we not hear about that? You so busy trying to drag Dr. Jackie that you forgot to mention that it was your good buddy, Dr. Simone, that you were talking about here, and y'all sued her. But the question is, did it really happen? Because the case went nowhere because the judge threw it out because y'all didn't provide nothing in discovery. And since you dragged it out, didn't follow up with it, they just went ahead and dismissed the case. See, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about when we say that the reason why you all are getting rid of Quad is because she won't tell her real life, and she doesn't have a storyline, and she hides her real truth, and she won't take accountability for anything. I don't recall this accountability. Wow, this is one heck of a storyline to tell on the show. Did y'all remember seeing it? This is exactly what I'm saying. If you don't like Quad, just say you don't like Quad. If you don't want that fine woman around your husband, say you don't want that fine woman around your husband. But the excuses that you all are giving, total BS. And since we own it, let me go ahead and tell the whole truth about this whole group of friends. See, what a lot of people forget is at some point in time, Jackie and Simone, being besties, thought that it would be a good idea for them to go into business together. And that did not work out. So they went ahead and separated again. But while they were separate, Dr. Jackie got a whole lot of celebrity clients and she started to thrive and all of that. And Simone struggled a little bit because she tried to switch over to a new system. Money got messed up and she was a little bit broke, and then plus people always took Jackie more seriously. So your good old best friend Jackie, in the spirit of competing with you, what she decided to do was bring her rich friend Buffy on the show and use her specifically to get under your skin or to agitate you or to take you down a peg. That was the real reason why Jackie and Simone's friendship fell apart. It's that underlying competition thing. It's the doctors with the egos.
What was done to me, I still cannot believe that these women did this and have no remorse at all about them. Talking smack about me on this season like I'm a bad person. When they threw me in the worst depression I've ever been, I couldn't get out of bed. Then I had social media, all their goons on social media, people telling me, why don't you just die like your babies, and evil shit. Gaslighting me. There's nothing like women, a group of women telling me, well, you had those miscarriages a while ago, you should get over that. Now what if I said, well, that OBGYN had breast cancer 17 years ago? Yes, she talk about that every day on the show. I'm just saying, she been in remission for almost 20 years, but every day she talking about, I have breast cancer. And listen, I got people in my family who suffer from, who've had breast cancer. I have an aunt who had a double mastectomy. And I'm not at all diminishing that experience. But if they can allow her to keep talking about breast cancer, and I had a miscarriage a year ago, and I should be over it by now, it just doesn't add up. I don't feel that she should be over her breast. Whatever it takes is fine. But it's like this fake double standard where everybody drops tears, cries when she says her same canned speech about having had breast cancer 17 years ago. But if the new girl comes on the show and starts talking about lupus, which is what I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to talk about my reproductive problems. I wanted to talk about lupus and living with lupus. But they didn't want that because there's only room for one person to have a medical history problem story. And see, I'm still living with mine. Hers is in remission. My lupus ain't in remission. And so do you see why? And I remember Simone would say stuff to Jackie like, yeah, she has lupus. Oh, Jackie, she had a breast cancer scare and she came to my office and she took off her. I remember so clearly. And it was like Simone was like telling Jackie to be scared. Like she's more vulnerable than you. She's more, real, blah, 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 blah. And so tell me if you don't see the deductive reasoning of why they had to gang up on me and try to at all costs get my ass the hell up out of there. They feel it, and Simone said to me many times they're only gonna cast one Jackie. Like that's a character. She's a character that she's playing on television. I'm actually a kind person who wants to help people. And so when you're faced with the character that you're playing on TV as a real person, you get scared. And that's what happened. Period. When the real deal come in the room, Simone didn't take my side. Simone defended herself. Simone is a mastermind. Simone did not take my side. Simone was protecting herself because Simone told Jackie my business. So the real reason they mad is not because she was mad at her about doing anything to me. The real reason she's mad is because she put her medical license in jeopardy because she told what she told her at that party. So one doctor told another doctor somebody's private medical history, and the other doctor betrayed that other doctor and said it so she could have a storyline. That's why they mad at each other. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Simone could give a rat's ass about me. If Simone cared about me, Simone would have she would have called me and checked on me after the reunion. I ain't heard from Simone since the reunion. She likes to say she called me and I didn't respond to her text. Let me tell you what happened with that, because she be lying. Simone and Toya did a live where they were both drunk, allegedly, with Cecil, and where they called me a crybaby. And they were trying to goat me to come on. She texted me and said, hey, we're doing a live. Can you come on? I hadn't heard from Simone in weeks. And she texted me talking about, can you come on a live with us? No, I'm not working for Bravo anymore. I quit. I told them after the reunion I was done. So I texted her. I said, I ain't heard from you in weeks. Hey, how are you doing? That she didn't even have the finesse enough to say, hey, girl, how you doing? How's Dave? Can you come on this live with us? That's the lack of respect you have. When I protected your ass and didn't tell people, you were the damn one who told that girl my medical business. And then she went on a live and said, well, I don't know why Buffy's not answering the phone. It's COVID. Bitch, because I'm in bed with my man and I don't work for you anymore. Oh yeah, they said how they really felt. Simone kept telling me, don't let Jackie punk you. Don't let Jackie punk you. And I was like, I'll react the way I react. I'm not gonna react how you want me to react. I reacted how I would react because that's what really happened to me. I'm not acting. Y'all may be, but I wasn't. I'm a friend. Contessa. Very different situation. Grabbing my damn face. You lucky I didn't sue you for battery and assault, because I could have and didn't. But I'm the villain, y'all. You can't touch somebody. You can't come in somebody's space. And it's all on damn TV. So you can't say it didn't happen, honey. And baby, if I had asked for that other footage, or where you said, let me rock you on the floor like the baby you'll never have. Everybody in here has a baby but you. That they edited out to just make me look crazy for my reaction. Blocked my cars in and didn't let us leave. And Toya lived damn an hour and a half outside of damn Atlanta. It was 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. There wasn't no Uber coming out there. I couldn't leave. Y'all don't understand. They was gonna get their scene, honey. Trust and believe. And they got it. And then, like Simone said, thank you for guaranteeing us season 8, Buffy.
That was so disgusting to listen to. And I have always felt like they did our good auntie Buffy wrong. She would have been great for the show. But once again, when I break down that hierarchy video, I'm going to show you why she couldn't be on the show, because she wouldn't be beneath them. And therein lies the problem. And as we talk about the BS about karma, I don't hear anybody saying that Contessa not being on the show anymore was her karma for what she did to Buffy. See, the stuff only applies to Quad. It really only applies to the darker girls, which colorism is a part of that hierarchy, but y'all ain't ready to have that conversation, so we'll talk about it another time. And another way that the hierarchy comes in place is the fact that when the rift between Jackie and Simone's relationship happened, that gave Heavenly time to slide right on in and try to be Jackie's best friend to submit her place in the hierarchy, which is tricky. So I'll get into that in another video. But what I want to talk about is what this video is all about. The doctors never have to take accountability because one other doctor, just like we did with Simone in the beginning, when Jackie shot off at the mouth about obesity, now we're going to come full circle and end it with her new best friend, Heavenly, doing the exact same thing for her in the Buffy situation and with the new situation with that old clip surfacing since, by the way, whose YouTube channel was that filmed on? Oh, well, that was Heavenly's, wasn't it? Baby, y'all better watch out for that wild card. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
I'll give you a prime example, and I know I shouldn't even mention this girl name. When Jackie did what she did with Buffy, Buffy's storyline was she was infertile. She had a whole scene with me, okay? But when they brought it out on the stage, when Jackie said it, they made it seem like Jackie put it out there for the world, and it was the first time said it wasn't, right? So Jackie was pissed that the girl was using this as a storyline, correct? Understand, right? Jackie's pissed because she's infertile too, so she would never, you know what I'm saying? That's just like calling somebody transgender if you transgender. Jackie was mad because that's on her career. She would never call somebody out on what they, you know, infertile. At the end of the season at the reunion, Jackie, even though she was right in what she was thinking, for the world, they didn't understand. So she's ate crow and she gave Buffy the best apology in the world. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you on a corporate job or when you with people, sometimes as a professional, and I get this, because sometimes in my office, the people be dead ass wrong. But in order to be the greater good in your business, sometimes you got to eat crow, even if you feel like you're right.
Now, if you watch that interview in its entirety and you listen carefully, what you'll hear is Heavenly slightly admitting that Quad really isn't the problem here, that the problem is that she has not bowed down to the hierarchy. And if she would just do that, she could go ahead and continue to stay on the show and secure the bag. The problem is when you do that, it doesn't actually fix the problem. The doctors and their lack of accountability will still be the problem. And oh, by the way, see, Heavenly has learned how to play this game in the best way possible because she says whatever she wants to say on her YouTube channel, drags the ladies for filth. They make her apologize for it, and then she comes back and does it all over again on her YouTube channel. But in the efforts to get Quad on out of there, what the ladies have decided to do is come and basically bogart Heavenly's YouTube recaps that she used to do by herself. And now, if you notice, they all get on the live together. They've basically co-opted Heavenly's niche in order to control it so that she cannot dog them in the very same way that she used to. If you notice, the way that she does the podcast with Carlos, most of the dogging was about Quad. The very same Quad that although she participated in the ambush on Quad, when the ladies, the doctors, and their hierarchy tried to ambush her to tell her about herself with that little intervention, it was actually Quad who tried to intervene. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I hope that you have subscribed. And I also hope that you will consider hitting that thank you super chat to bless your girl for Christmas. But if not, happy holidays. And I hope to see you all in the new year with better content.